everyday stories of faith.
My name is Chris and I'm recently retired, but I still help out at Penhurst Retreat Centre where I meet one-to-one with guests. I'm also part of Battle Baptist Church and there I'm a new trustee.
What was life like before you decided to follow Jesus?
Well, that's going back a long way. When I was at school, my family were not Christians and they didn't go to church, but they did have an acknowledgement of God. So I grew up with a sense of the existence of God and good and evil, but I didn't really understand anything about Jesus and the gospel.
When and why did you choose to follow Jesus?
When I was about 12, I joined the Girls' Brigade, which was attached to the local Baptist church. So of course I then heard all about Jesus and received a lot of teaching there. But the moment that came for me was probably a couple of years after that, when I suddenly realised that I wasn't a Christian. I had just assumed that I was, but then at camp one year the teaching was such that I realised I wasn't a Christian. So then followed a time of asking many questions and thinking through things, and I can remember deciding that I was too young to make this life-changing decision and that I might not want to make that decision when I was an adult. So I delayed making the decision for a long time, but when I was about 17 I realised that if this was right and I believed it was the truth, then I had no option, so I accepted Jesus and followed him.
What difference does following Jesus make?
Well, the difference it's made is total in every way, because following Jesus affects every area of your life. That doesn't mean to say that all problems go away and one's own failings and shortcomings can still be there, but through it all you know that God has a purpose and that he is with you. So that sense of an ever-present companion has made a huge difference to life. I'm also still amazed at what God has enabled me to do. He's enabled me to go and live in the bush of northern Kenya and South Sudan, serving him there, doing things that I would never have thought of doing normally if I wasn't following Jesus. And so I've just been so blessed by what he has enabled me to do in spite of my fears and failings. I'm also aware that he goes on working in us, that there's no cut-off point and you don't get older and suddenly go downhill until you die. You carry on progressing because God is preparing us always for the next step. I firmly believe that this life is preparation for eternity. So God is continually working in us to make us what he wants us to become. So it's a question of onward and upward.
What's your story?